G'day punters, a small but intriguing round coming up of AFL action. The great Shane Crawford, he helped us land a betting plunge last week by steering us into his beloved Hawks to lead at quarter time. He's got another best bet for us this week, so join us as we go inside 50. G'day punters and welcome to Tab's Inside 50. Nick, Quinn and Shane Crawford here looking at all the big topics in footy in 50 seconds or less. And Crawford, let's kick off with Friday night footy. Can the Tigers bounce back against Geelong?
Yes, they can. Unbelievable odds. When you look at the tab odds on the Tigers, MCG's a real factor. Friday night footy, the Tiger Army, they had a bad one last week. We all have bad ones. And there's no doubt they'll bounce back. Cochin's had one run under his belt. Things are just working perfectly. And I think the Tigers will hit the ground running and upset the Cats, who are in very nice form.
That'd be absolutely superb for Tiger supporters. They have won 3 in a row against Geelong. We'll just gloss over the small fact. Geelong had won 20 of the previous 21 against
Don't worry about that.
No, we move over.
No, it's all about this week.
Things that don't work in our favour. Now, a giant test coming up here for GWS on the road against Adelaide. This game potentially means more for the Crows. What do you make of it?
It does, and that's why I'm predicting a bit of an upset here. I think the Crows can get the job done at home. Home factor, I reckon it's at least a 3 or 4 goal advantage. And a few of their players that have been struggling a bit hit a bit of form last week, and to come from behind and beat the D's, oh no, what a disaster. That's going to give them a lot of confidence. So I'm thinking Adelaide can cause a bit of an upset against GWS, and Lachie Whitfield's not playing as well, which is a real advantage.
Absolutely, a big out there for GWS. What do you make of Jeremy Cameron? He was absolutely airborne. He's had a quiet 3 weeks. Can he bounce back with a couple?
Well, the problem is they're still winning. They shut down a key forward and all the others bob up. So they're a very good team. He'll have his moments, don't worry about that, and he'll kick his bag full when he needs to.
OK, there we go. Stick with Jeremy Cameron. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater there. We move on to my favourite segment, bin or win. I throw topics at you. You like it, it's a win. You don't, we'll turf it in the bin. New coach, new Blues. Will Carlton win this week?
Ben!
Oh.
You could not trust the Blues. I've been believing in them. They have been competitive this year, but for them to win, well, that's a whole new level. So straight to the bin for the Blues.
OK, there we go. Set back there. You've jumped off the Blues bandwagon. Watch them find a couple of legs now. West Coast and Sydney, they've had some nail-biters over the year. Will this one be decided by 1 to 10 points?
Every chance. Yeah, every chance it'll be a close one. West Coast will win this. I'm pretty confident they'll get the job done, but I don't think it'll be a massive margin because the Swans, as we know, the Bloods, they've got great spirit the way they go about it, and Buddy's had a run or two back, so he'll hit a bit of form. But the West Coast have really started to click into gear, and I reckon they'll just get the job done at the SCG.
There we go, a win and a bin there. Now we move on to the segment that you have made your own.
I have.
You've been absolutely outstanding.
Which one is it?
I tip my befont to you, the Winning Underdogs. What have you got for us this week?
Well, the Winning Underdogs, we're going to go with the Adelaide Crows against the Giants. At home factor, I think it's really important. They're starting to believe, they're starting to team a bit better. Jenkins came in, Bryce Gibbs came in, some senior type players. I think that's really important. So the Crows to get up and cause an upset against the mighty Giants.
OK, there we go. That might be a good one for us to play, even at the line, given a 5.5 start. Now, a couple of key teams have got buys this weekend. What's a team in the second half of the year you think might be able to spike up the ladder?
Well, my old mob, the Hawks, everyone's saying they're done and dusted, but I'm telling you they're not. When you think about some of the players they brought into their system, like Scully and Wingard and so forth, it takes time to understand the way that Alistair Clarkson coaches. It's not just about getting the footy. So I really think they'll come with a bit of a run the second half of the season. They'll just be hard to play against, and they can sneak into the 8.
He's done a great job, especially with guys like Henderson. They look like new players under Clarkson's reign. Now, what about the other way? Is there a team that might go sliding down?
Well, this is a big call, but Port Adelaide I just don't trust. Travis Boak, when he's up and about, and Robbie Gray, super players, and they really get the team going. But I just worry if they get injured in the second half of the season, I think it's really going to affect Port Adelaide. So for me, I think they might slide.
Well, that happened last season.
Sorry, Port Adelaide supporters.
$1.95 for it to happen again. OK, we're 6 goals up. We're kicking with the win. Let's finish with a bang. What's your best bet this weekend? All
right, here we go. I love giving you value, but more importantly, I want to give you a winner. And I think the Tigers can cause an upset against the Cats Friday night. OK, it's going to set our week up and perfectly. Cochin's had one run back. The Tigers were very disappointing last week. MCG, Tiger Army, it's Tiger time. So get on them to win. $2.35 on the tab odds. Unbelievable value. and you'll have a great Friday night.
Cop that, Adam Hamilton. Go those Mighty Tigers. My best bet. I'm going to stick with Adelaide at the line. Why not take the 5.5 points as insurance to get the $1.90?
That's
but make sure
disappointing.
your bets are winning bets, and we'll see you next week on Tabs Inside 50.
Look, there was going to be a 5-game multi.